The origin and source of monitoring spirits, spirit spouses, and their targets. Terminologies. Welcome to Amaka Intellectual Factory, where I host podcasts and many other interesting stuff. So, in the previous video, I introduced my viewers to the existence of monitoring spirits. Today, I will do a quick run-through of words commonly used when talking about these phenomena. The whole idea is to demystify the knowledge and understanding of monitoring spirits, so that when the people who engage in this evil try to harm you with their agenda, you know why they are doing it and ultimately know how to protect yourself from their attacks. Pardon me, I'm a bit under the weather. Anyways, let's go. So, number 1. Organized gang stalking. The definition of gang stalking refers to a group of people who use various methods to harass and intimidate another person. While the reasons for this may vary, they are often based on jealousy or hate of certain beliefs. Gang stalking is a tactic that is usually planned by one person that has something against another person. However, they end up using other people to help them stalk the individual to constantly keep the harassment going. Various tactics are typically used by gang stalkers to harass and intimidate the victim, which sometimes includes weapons, but more often than not, it consists of the use of psychological means. Here are some tactics that are used by gang stalkers. Making unwanted and repeated phone calls or text messages. Issuing threats. Physically following the person. Notes that are left in various places. Breaking into homes and cars. Approaching the victim in various places. The bottom line is that gang stalking is usually done covertly, meaning that it is often done without revealing the true reason for the behavior. The victim may or may not ever know what the situation that caused the gang stalking to begin is. 2. Profiling. This is the recording and analysis of a person's psychological and behavioral characteristics, so as to assess or predict their capabilities in a certain sphere, or to assist in identifying a particular subgroup of people. 3. Perpetrators of gang stalking, also known as perps. These are the gang stalkers. They are usually referred to as perpetrators of gang stalking, or perps for short. 4. Handlers or groomers. These are the people who control the behavior of the perpetrators of gang stalking, or non-perpetrators of gang stalking. Handlers are those who, by means of sorcery, psychological manipulation, pharmaceuticals, threats, intimidation, any other conceivable means, grooms an individual or a group of people under their control to do whatever they want them to do. In extreme cases, the handler traumatizes their victim through acts of violence, usually sexual violence, and drugging them. They are also known as groomers. A good example are men who groom women from the time these women were underage girls to worship them, or men generally, or who groomed these women from the time these women were underage to be sex workers. 5. Watchers. This is an old terminology for monitoring spirits. You are essentially saying the same thing. In the Bible, Genesis also talks about watchers. When most people talk about watchers, they usually talk about them from the Genesis 6 point of view, more so than monitoring spirits. However, unlike the watcher, who were known as fallen angels, an ordinary person can be identified as a monitoring spirit, but not a watcher. Because of the demonic or otherworldliness of monitoring spirits, the term monitoring spirits is often used to refer to the demons that participate in this behavior of monitoring the lives of people, especially marine spirits. But watchers are also monitoring spirits. 6. Monitoring spirits. A monitoring spirit is thought to be an evil spirit or demon that monitors someone's behavior in order to inflict harm or pain on that person's life. A monitoring spirit is also known as a watcher or a masquerading spirit. Monitoring spirit can be sent by another demon, a witch, or anyone who knows how to use the spirit world. The spirits are said to keep an eye on what you do, how you do it, what you say, and who your friends are. They are there to get information that would help them carry out spiritual attacks, steal blessings, infect with sickness, sabotage success, and generally mess with the victim's life. 7. Egregore. An egregore is sustained by belief, ritual, and sacrifice, and relies upon the devotion of a group of people from a small coven to an entire nation for its existence. An independent magical being arising from collective mind. They are the occult entities that watch over human destiny. 8. Voyeurism. The activity of getting pleasure from secretly watching other people in sexual situations, or, more generally, from watching other people's private lives. 9. Surveillance tyranny. This is when the government or sinister people in government, or very wealthy malevolent people with their petty prejudice, engage in their own voyeurism. With the use of the state-of-the-art technology, sophisticated military technology that were made to tackle foreign terrorism on innocent, defenseless, and unsuspecting citizens of their states or law-abiding immigrants. A good movie that captures this sick demonic mindset is The Ritual Killer, starring Morgan Freeman. I'll be doing a movie review on that later. Psychological operations, PSYOPs. Psychological operations are operations to convey selected information and indicators to audiences to influence their motives and objective reasoning, and ultimately the behavior of governments, organizations, groups, and large foreign powers. This one is a big one, and I will be doing a special on PSYOPs, God willing, later. This is how the enemy essentially gets you to self-destruct. Typically, multiple psyops take place at the same time and overlap each other. 11. Systems. A set of things working together as parts of a mechanism or an interconnecting network. A set of principles or procedures according to which something is done, an organized framework or method. Remember in the introduction video, I said that when we are dealing with monitoring spirits, we are essentially dealing with a system of witchcraft or a system of cooperating witchcraft. When our world was created, there were systems put in place to make it a paradise. However, evil people who understood how systems run society inverted these systems and weaponized it against innocent people. For example, there might be a job agency that helps applicants get jobs. When wicked people hijack this job agency, they would start to discriminate against people they have prejudice towards. It might even be government benefits or non-government benefits you are entitled to. These people would outrightly tell you you don't qualify or there are no more resources to assist you. 12. Theater. This is when perpetrators of gang stalking surround a targeted individual and start behaving in a certain way in an attempt to fool the targeted individual into believing that the drama taking place around them is real. The more determined, sophisticated, and resourceful the perpetrators of gang stalking are, the more they are able to pull off a very realistic theater. See the movie The Truman Show. 13. Targeted individual or victim. This is the person gang stalkers and or monitoring spirits attack. 14. Evil eye. The evil eye is a supernatural belief in a curse brought about by a malevolent stare, usually inspired by envy. The belief in the evil eye among humans has existed since prehistory. It is estimated that around 40% of the world's population believes in the evil eye. It is found in many cultures in the Mediterranean region, the Balkans, the Middle East, and Central Asia. 15. Haters. These are jealous or envious people who hate on a person for no rational reason. Psalm 35 describes them as haters without a cause. 16. Havana Syndrome, Electromagnetic Attack, Sonic Attack, Microwave Attack. Havana Syndrome is a cluster of idiopathic symptoms experienced mostly abroad by U.S. government officials and military personnel. The symptoms range in severity from pain and ringing in the ears to cognitive dysfunction and were first reported in 2016 by U.S. and Canadian embassy staff in Havana, Cuba. They are usually carried out through electromagnetic attack, sonic attack, and/or microwave attack. I can categorically state that even non-US government officials are targets of this terror. These malevolent people, through these weapons, can make a person have a heart attack, stroke, cancer, organ failure, and pains all over the body. So these are some of the common words associated with the activity of monitoring spirits. It is good that you familiarize yourselves with them so that when someone is talking about monitoring spirits and throwing these words out there, you fully understand what they're saying. Now, I'll be going into those people who engage in monitoring spirit activity. In my next video, I will be discussing the hater, the lone actor in monitoring other people, and how to identify them when they are around you. That's all I have to say for now. Until next time, take care of your lovely selves, and remember, life is beautiful and worth living.